clogged TV.
Beyond the policy.
You're welcome back to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the KOKO Digest Morning Show, and we're about to have our main discussion. So this is going to be about eye care. So we're talking to a representative from the Optometrist Association, and he's in the person of Dr. Augustine Derry. He's an optometrist and eye health educator, and he was also the most outstanding optometrist of 2024 at the Ghana Optometrists Association. So, you know, he's very knowledgeable. And then also, the Ghana Optometric Association is a registered professional body and the only organization that represents doctors of optometry in Ghana. And they also promote the interest and practice of optometry in Ghana and beyond. So let's get acquainted with Dr. Derry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me too.
So yes, you are from the Ghana Optometrist Association. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So the Ghana Optometric Association is a professional body that oversees the activities of optometrists in Ghana. And of course, just like any other professional association, sees to the welfare of the members, make sure that we are serving the interests of the public or serving our mandates properly. We are under the Allied Health Professions Council.
Okay.
Yeah, so we comprise about close to 600 doctors or optometrists.
Okay.
Yes.
So quickly, let's just start with the whole eye care conversation. I've heard of optometrist, I've heard of ophthalmologist, I've heard of optician. What is the difference among these?
Okay, so these are eye care professionals.
Okay.
So we are all eye care professionals, yet we have slight distinctions. And then there are certain areas where our roles blur into each other. So since I am an optometrist, I start with an optometrist. An optometrist is a eye health professional who is trained to examine, to detect, diagnose problems of the eye and the visual system.
Okay.
So an optometrist, you get to the eye clinic or hospital, he checks your eye, sees if there's any problem, whether eye disease, refractive error, vision problem. You know, I like to separate the eye disease from the vision problem. You can have a problem or a disease in the eye, but you are still seeing.
Yeah.
Or you can have a vision problem, but some way, somehow, the eye's health is not a problem.
Okay.
So the optometrist does this basic check. He's a primary eye health professional.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one. Then we have the optician. So when you see the optometrist and he prescribes, say, glasses for you, the prescription will get to an optician. An optician is trained to, interpret the glass prescriptions well. He's trained to help people to also fix the glasses to prescription, help to maybe select frames, many others. Then let's go to the ophthalmologist. So the ophthalmologist is more or less like a secondary carer for the eye. So if there are certain conditions such as cataracts, which will require, say, surgery or some other a bit complicated issues, we can refer to an ophthalmologist. An ophthalmologist is like a medical doctor who later specializes in the eye.
Okay.
So these are three very distinct. And let me add one. There's the ophthalmic nurse, of course.
Okay.
And when we say an eye nurse, it's generally easily understood. So although these professions are in the eye industry, yes, we'll share certain, like a Venn diagram, certain common spaces. There are other distinct areas. So like an optometrist, your eye, your vision, primary eye care, vision therapy, orthoptics, contact lens is a master in those fields.
Okay, okay. So, viewers, those of you that have glasses and you don't want to wear them, we have an optometrist here. He's coming to tell us all the things that will happen. And those of you that are seemingly starting to get issues with your eyes, send in your questions, ask all your questions on our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube, and of course, onto our WhatsApp number displayed on your screen. Maybe during the show, we may open our phone lines for you to also call in and also ask your questions. So let's go quickly again into, so our topic is mostly even about the challenges in and also innovations in eye care. So how would you even describe the state of eye health here in Ghana? Are people interested in their eye health?
Let me start from when I started school. Like when I was going to the university, I was in SS then, St. Francis Xavier Minor Seminary. I only heard of optometry from one senior or two seniors who had gone ahead and had done a homecoming. So they were, introducing themselves to us. It's like, what is that? What is that? It wasn't very common. Optometry has seen several stages. At the beginning, in the not until the early 90s, we didn't really, the 80s to 90s, we didn't really have any formal training of optometrists in Ghana, let's say. Then you'd have to go outside and train. And most of those people who train outside will not really come back because...
There's no market.
Yes. But there is the market, but then the structure of... yes, it was a bit problematic. So we started a optometry school, Tech started, UCC started. These are the two institutions. And it was I did not know many optometrists. Now, fast forward to today, when I see what's happening, I am actually happy about the lot of things that the lot of gains that we've made, because previously there were fewer eye centers. If we asked you where you go to check your eye, you would really think about it. Yes, there were fewer eye centers, fewer knowledge about eye care. Now we've made a lot of strides, even as an association. We've made a lot of inputs into Ghana. But then, like you're saying, there's a lot to be done.
Oh, wow.
Yes, a lot.
So with your association, do we have the Opticians Association, the Ophthalmologists Association, or it's an umbrella association? So
yes, the ophthalmologists have the Ophthalmological Society of Ghana. The opticians also have the Ghana Optical Association, and the ophthalmic nurses also have theirs. Okay. Yes.
Okay then.
Yes.
So yes, what are some of the most common eye conditions that you face maybe in your daily practice?
Well, the most common in my practice is refractive error, and the data even supports it.
So what is refractive error?
Yes, I think that's where my eye model comes in handy. So for us to see clearly, light has to fall on an object, and the light is reflected from the object, carrying information about the object. Then this light now enters your eye. Your eye is the detection instrument with which your body perceives the environment visually. So if I use this model, for example, there's the light enters the front of the eye. There's a small hole called the pupil. So when it enters the pupil, it goes all the way, let me see, yes, to the very back of the eye. The back of the eye, the orange part is called the retina. It has to come to a very sharp focus at the back. Yes, now, in certain cases, the light doesn't focus sharply at the back of the eye. Like you see a projector that is not very clear. Yes, that is mostly what we call a refractive error, in simple terms. So that's what makes some people not able to see things when they are far, or when they are close, they struggle to see it, so they have to push it back. They get headaches. So that's the most common, for me, issue I've seen in a clinical setting. And for that, we usually would give glasses or would give contact lenses to help people to see better. The other diseases, like allergies, you're usually running in children. Ocular allergies. Yeah. Conjunctivitis. Yes.
So the allergies, so some of us, when we get allergies, then we tend to have this very itchy, I don't know if it's the eyeball or it's the eyelid that is itchy, but we are just rubbing our eyes away.
Yes.
So where does that one fall?
Yeah, allergies are actually, in broad term, I'll call them part of what we call the hypersensitivity reactions,
Okay.
where your body has heightened sensitivity for something. So, for example, if a mosquito bites someone, and you know the sensation, maybe just a little, you hit it off, or it gets a little itchy, and then it bites another person. This is by way of illustration. If that person is hypersensitive to mosquito bites, his hand may even swell.
Yeah.
So it's like an exaggerated response that the body is mounting. Same for the allergy in the eye. Something drops in the eye, or you eat something that you're allergic to. Instead of maybe using your hand to just take, as we do, just do this, take it off. No, it becomes very itchy. You itch and it's protracted. It becomes painful, becomes red, swollen, and all that. Yeah.
Okay, so aside the refractive error,
Yes.
sorry, what is the next common one? What about, so I think with the explanation you've given, cataracts, glaucoma, they are diseases of the eye, right?
Yes. Yeah. You are picking up.
So with these diseases, can you give us a brief overview, the causes and things like that?
Oh, yeah. So these are actually cataracts, for example, and a common cause of what we call visual impairments. Cataracts are usually age-related. So refractive error will usually cut across board, but cataracts we usually find it in the older group, where, again, it's good I brought this. I almost did it. So where the lens of the eye, the lens is this portion of the eye.
So that's behind the pupil.
Just behind the pupil. Yeah, you are very smart. So the lens in the eye helps with what we call variable focusing. So if I look at you and then I look far away, the distances are not the same. So my eye has to adjust its focus. The lens does that. So this lens material, which is transparent and allows light to pass through, as we grow, starts to lose that transparency little by little. So the most common cause of cataract is aging. That's the most common. There are other causes, for example, accidents, some other diseases, drug abuse, if you do self-medication, certain drugs used for a long time and not regulated can even give you cataracts. Yeah, certain other diseases in the body, like diabetes, for example, can cause you to have cataracts. So the cells or the lens cells, that way, become less transparent to light or become opaque. So light cannot enter very well. That's what a cataract is.
So with that, when maybe you are supposed to get it checked, or is it surgery to remove the whole lens and replace it with an artificial one, or they just take it off and then send you on your way?
No, if we take, you see, the lens has a certain power of focus. So if you are taking, yes, it's surgery. Let me answer that first. It's surgery, principally. And let me take time to say, there is no medicine that will take a cataract or that will heal a cataract or will melt a cataract. I keep saying it over and over and people keep hearing it, but I like to repeat it. So if you do have a cataract, it doesn't mean you are going blind permanently. The surgery can be done to remove the cataract or the cataractous lens. When it's removed, then we put in an artificial lens to help replace that power that is lost, the focusing power that is lost. And then you see well. Yes.
So what about glaucoma then? What is the difference even?
Okay. So cataracts can cause one reversible blindness. Glaucoma can cause irreversible blindness. So if you do have glaucoma and you do not take care of it, it can blind you permanently with no remedy. Someone will say, "Ajinyame." No. So glaucoma here refers to some diseases that affect what we call the optic nerve of the eye. Optic nerve is simply this, let's call it a wire, that connects the eyeball to the brain. So after the light has focused at the back of the eye, then this wire, it takes the light as electrical signals and then takes them all the way to the brain for processing. Then you see. So glaucoma affects this optic nerve, and this optic nerve is, this is like
the one behind
at the back, yes, and it goes all the way. So if this optic nerve has a problem or the highway through which visual inputs is sent to the brain is damaged, then you will not see.
Okay.
The scary thing about glaucoma is that it's usually painless.
Okay.
So you start to lose your vision and you don't notice it until it's quite advanced. And that's the problem. So if you have glaucoma, if you don't have glaucoma, you can see, and you've gone to the clinic before, the doctor has told you to come for a specific test for glaucoma, please go back and test. Don't wait for pain because you may never get the pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a comment. He says, I am a while texting from Adenta. I have an itchy eye. Do I need glasses or just ointment to apply in the itchy area?
You need an eye examination actually, because we don't know what is causing the itchy eye. You know, we have to always know what it is that is causing what, and then we know the way forward. Luckily in Accra, we have a lot of eye centers. So
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
I would encourage you to get to an eye center. Don't do self-medication.
Okay. So
See
there's
your
another
optometrist.
question here. It says, please ask Mr. Derry, what causes your left eye to become blurred and shaky for some time, and then it shakes for about 2 minutes and stops, becomes blurred for about 3 minutes and stops?
Your body is giving you some alarm, some warning. Yeah. If you are having blur vision in just one eye, the eye is shaking. So if it was just shaking, you know, once in a while you have twitches in your eyes. It shakes uncontrollably, the eyelids. Some of that may be related to stress. Some of that may be related to certain medications you are taking and all. But one eye shaking, twitching, blur vision, quickly see the optometrist.
Okay. So, I don't know, I came across some sort of scientific things that our body, I think the body does not know the eye exists, else it would attack it as a foreign object or something along those lines. Like is it the nervous system or the brain? That the eyes are separate from our general, I think, is it immune system? Something like that. I've mixed it up, but it's basically that our eyes are a bit separate from the general body functions, else the body would attack it. How true is something like that?
Sorry, pardon me. I wonder how true that. No, the eye doesn't even work in isolation.
Okay.
The eye works with other body parts. For example, like the nervous system, like this. I talked about the optic nerve.
Yeah.
The cardiovascular system. Look, the blood vessels that go into the eye, connective tissue. I mean, there are so many things that you know, are in the body that relates to the eye.
Okay.
So much that the eye can even be a diagnostic tool or a diagnostic indicator.
Like jaundice, right?
Exactly, like jaundice. And it will shock you to know that sometimes even common diseases like malaria, even HIV, can have manifestation in the eye.
Yeah, okay.
So you have people who come to me and I ask them, are you hypertensive? And some ask me, how did you know? You know, by just looking into the eye, because the eye is the only structure in the body where you can look in and see the blood vessels without having to cut.
Okay.
So I say, are you hypertensive? Are you diabetic? Or no, I think your pressure is high. Let's check your pressure. Or let's check your sugar. We check and then something is wrong.
Okay.
So you cannot separate the eye from the body. Okay. No, it's not possible. Okay. Yeah.
So I think these ones are personal questions.
Yeah.
The whiteness of your, is it cornea or sclera?
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with your general health?
I would have been surprised if I left here without you asking me this question. Ladies are usually very interested in this question.
Yeah, I get people telling me that my eyes are very white. My mom thinks it's maybe anemia or something. I know our parents generally open our eyelids to check.
Yes, yes.
Does that have anything to do with general health?
Yes, in a way, and no. So the eyes have blood vessels around. They may have some pigmentation. Even there are some marks on that can be on the eye, like we have birthmark on our body. The eye can have some marks.
I've seen a few like that.
Yes, I have one somewhere, in my eye. So generally, we expect that the sclera, which is the part around the black, there's something on top of the black. If I'll use my eye, for example, or maybe yours are
I have lashes on, so.
So
don't
now,
even-
the sclera is just around the
Yeah.
black of the eye, and that's white in color. It has some vasculature. In other words, it has blood vessels running through it. Sometimes when the eyes are inflamed or the eyes need some help, they open up these blood vessels for more blood to come through.
Okay.
So that if you are hurt somewhere, you know, the white blood cells,
Yeah.
whatever, can run to the area to work or do some emergency response. This can cause your eye to look redder than usual. So sometimes you have red eye for a while and then it's okay. When the blood vessels become, the diameter is reduced. So in all, people don't have purely white eyes generally.
Okay.
Don't expect to have purely white eyes. There's some blood vessels around it, so you have a little bit of color.
Okay.
If you are rubbing your eyes a lot, you may have brownish eyes, and that's not very good because then you are hurting the front layer of your eye. There's little sore forming, and when
Yeah.
those sores heal, that's like scarring of the
Yeah.
body. So those brown things are like
Okay.
scars on the eye. So no. White eyes don't mean you are healthy, but then you don't need perfectly white eyes. No,
Okay.
there should be a little bit
But
of color.
there are some people whose eyes are just naturally red.
Yes.
I think I've also seen something about it relating to stress, or when you are more stressed, you tend to have redder eyes as well. So what about that as well?
If your eyes are always red, then your eyes are inflamed. There's something going on. You should let your optometrist check. Yeah.
So one last one before we go into there.
Yeah.
The eye, sometimes you notice people's pupils, they have this ring, another
Okay.
brownish ring around that. Is it a health defect, or sometimes it's God's design?
No, when you are born, we don't really have that ring.
Okay.
Depending on the way the ring is, if it's brownish and all that, it could be as a result of allergy, continuous allergy,
Okay.
or the intensity of your reaction. You are being exposed too much. There are some people who even have this whitish, deposits around the black.
Okay.
Yes, around the cornea. And those ones could also be indicative, like I told you, the eye is like a
Yeah.
dashboard. Check engine, check lights, and
Yeah.
all that.
Okay.
So some of those can actually, if you have high cholesterol, it can show up in your eye.
Okay.
When you grow, for adults, I mean those who grow, as they grow up, some of those white deposits would definitely come as a result of age.
So one last one.
Okay.
They said when you start wearing glasses, it becomes more of a dependency thing.
Okay.
If you stop, you would even realize your eyes are worse off than when you started wearing. How true is that?
I'm sure a lot of people have opened their ears to listen to this answer. So yes, I want us to listen to it very well. Wearing glasses and in quote dependency on glasses after wearing glasses is usually an issue of adaptation.
Okay.
See how comfortable we are in here, sitting here with the AC, beautiful studio. If later it's all taken off and maybe a fan comes into place, we will not be very comfortable.
Yeah.
So if you were not seeing very well and you were giving glasses,
Yeah.
now you see very clearly. Later when you take it off, you don't accept the vision. Like you are wondering how you were used to that. You understand? Previously, people could walk very long distances. After getting cars, do they walk those distances?
No, not anymore.
So glasses do not make your eyes worse. That's usually where it comes from. Typically, those who say that are people who have had good vision through their lives, and at a point in time, now they need glasses to read.
Okay.
That one is usually what we call presbyopia. Presbyopia happens, big word, small meaning. As you grow, the muscles in your body and in the eye lose strength.
Yeah.
So the ones that help you to focus will lose strength. When things are getting close, you use more energy to read. So by 40, you'd have lost some significant strength. So small characters start to become difficult. So you go to your optometrist. He prescribes some glasses for you. You wear them. You can see. As you grow older, your eyes get weaker. Okay. So at a point, your glasses are not good enough.
Yeah.
So you have to go for a change. So now the observation is right, but the conclusion is wrong. The observation that your eyes are getting blurrer may be right, but it is not the glasses, it's your growing that is causing that.
So based on the analogy you gave, like
Yeah.
us being here, AC and everything, so maybe somebody would say, okay, today's morning show we'll use AC, tomorrow or on Thursday we'll use the fan to adapt. Is it advisable for people who wear glasses to have days where they try to train the eyes to still perform?
Okay. So let me add up to your question. Or should we let our children or other people sometimes take glasses off so that their eyes rest?
Something like that.
No, you see, what you don't realize is that glasses are visual aids or optical aids.
Okay.
They actually make your eyes see better. They make your eyes see with less stress. So when you then take them off, you are causing your eyes
To get
more
stressed.
stress.
Okay.
So you're actually making your eyes relax when you have them on than taking them off.
Okay.
So,
But you
don't
know,
worry.
some people maybe having to go shower, go into the poolside,
Yes.
and they're just annoyed that they still have to be in glasses. They cannot just feel free. That's why I was asking.
That's being said,
Yeah.
you know, there are some people, there is this problem that we have, we call the myopia pandemic, And this myopia is where people cannot see things that are far. So there are some people that are myopic. Maybe they could see up to a certain distance. Then some 5 years later, they are not seeing that worse, like their eyes are getting worse. Some, even with their glasses, they start to see worse than they used to.
Okay.
So let me say this. If you're not wearing your glasses, it can get worse way faster. If you are wearing your glasses, even if you get worse, it's a bit slower. Sometimes our activities prompt that. Now, the myopia pandemic is saying that if you are not careful, by 2050, half of the world's population will be short-sighted. And this is because of our activities and lifestyle that we have. But since we are not really delving into it, let me leave it here. Yeah.
Okay. So it's time for a quick break. If you are watching the KOKO Digest Morning Show, please call a friend, text a friend to join here to also learn about eye care, the challenges and innovations in eye health here in Ghana. Right after this break, we may open our phone lines for you to call in and, ask your questions. But while that's going on, you can also send in your comments and your questions, suggestions to our WhatsApp number displayed on your screen and onto our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. We will be right back. Yeah, welcome back to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the KOKO Digest Morning Show, and we are talking about optometry, the challenges and innovation. We did a little background into, eye care, and just before the break, I think I got a question. Yeah. So the viewer was asking that his eyes keep bringing water in his terms. What does that even mean?
Okay. Perhaps what he means is that his eyes are tearing excessively. So, like the effects like when you're crying or something like that. That can occur due to several factors. If your eyes are stressed, something is falling into your eyes. Even if you have blurred vision, you see this wiper effect where you are in a car driving, something falls on the screen and then you get some water to wipe off. So your brain sort of wants to put some water there so that when you blink, that wiper effect is done to clear whatever it is. So tearing can be caused by many.
Okay. So now let's go to the Optometrist Association. We've done a little bit on the health. So what are the main challenges you face as an optometrist in Ghana?
Okay, well, to start with, has to do with, let me say, regulation. Also, there are lots of quack practitioners in the system. You walk around, just here, you see a tent and somebody says, do your eye test here, something. People just go somewhere, pick up where, it's a bit of a challenge because some of these places that are not well certified can actually end up doing more harm than good. There are cases where some have been reported and then they are closed down. And after a little air passes over, they are back practicing. And that's it. That's actually a huge challenge. Another challenge has to do for me with, not even for the association, the posting of optometrists.
Okay.
You see, we really have a huge need in eye care. Imagine that optometrists being the primary eye care professionals, the first point of call for your eye issues, so that after that, if the optometrist treats your issue, fine. If you need any further examination, or he will refer appropriately. If your first point of call is not there, it's a problem. Because as we speak now, in our last ended AGM, we just did a little survey to see something, and we realized that most optometrists were in the cities, obviously.
Yeah.
So
that even brings me to the question about the lack of awareness to access eye care, for Ghanaians in the rural areas. How bad is it?
Well, awareness is another problem, but you see, if the practitioners are not there to even try and boost their awareness, if you boost their awareness and there are no practitioners, because the last time I remember, I think the last time optometrists were posted, maybe around 2000, the year 2000 or so, and there were few that were posted. So as we speak, Accra has more than half of the optometrists in Ghana. A lot. The next is Kumasi, and the rest just very few.
Okay.
Cape Coast has a single digit, like about 9% of optometrists working in Cape Coast.
Okay.
And that's a big problem. So if the distribution is not very good, one. Number two, the tooling. You go to an eye clinic, and I'm talking here for the government facilities especially, they are not very well resourced. And this has to, something has to be done about it. You can't get all of the services, so most of the time you have to resort to the private hospitals. And private hospitals, because they have to also be sustainable, they will not always be too
affordable,
cheap. Private sector is the largest, like most optometrists are in private sector. Government absorbs about, it's very sad, about 20%. And then maybe the Christian Health, the CHAC facilities, where these missions, Christian government, mission and government sort of partnership, if you add them up together, maybe like 30 getting to about 30-something%. And that's woefully inadequate.
So, my viewers, please, the phone lines are open. You can call in and ask your questions so that our doctor here will answer for you as well. Do you also face the challenge of maybe students not venturing into this field of science?
Initially, we had very small class sizes. In fact, in my class, I think we're like 24, if I remember, who graduated. Yes. But that is not a problem at all. It's a very competitive program now, because now people know about optometry and the impact it makes in society. So there are lots of people trying to get into optometry. If you don't have your 6, you are not getting optometry.
Okay. So with service delivery, like the rural areas not getting access, how big of a challenge is it to even be able, because let's say you, the ones here in Accra, do you face the challenge of not being able to even access these rural areas to go on some sort of outreaches or?
Yes, there are challenges when it comes to the rural areas. Of course, there's education, but usually we do our best there. We do the rural education, even radio, TV, we do a lot of that. But when you get to the rural areas, some of the barriers to access in eye care, money, one of them. And sadly, of course, the insurance would cover at least a consultation. But there are other many essential services that the National Health Insurance would not cover. And government has fewer institutions compared to the privates that would run eye care. Unfortunately, the private institutions, in order to bridge the gap to help get more people to patronize services, private institutions are not even allowed to take the National Health Insurance. So there are private clinics that are willing, but they are not. They are limited. So except the private insurances that people get.
And people for access to private insurance, then it means that you're well-to-do.
You're a little well-to-do, and you could even pay for your consultation. So that's one big challenge. If something could be done policy-wise, a way could be made such that private eye clinics may be able to take on the national health insurance.
Okay, so we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Mavis.
Okay, hello, Mavis. Your question, please.
I'd like to ask a doctor a question.
Okay.
I have an eye problem, and from like recently, the problem I've been facing is there's this whitish tissue that comes out of my eye, and I wanted to ask him that what is the cause, because it will be itching me, and then you see the whitish things coming out.
Okay, so her statement's a bit ambiguous, but I'll try and answer in both ways. So the whitish thing could be a whitish discharge that comes out, the sticky discharge. That's usually as a result of infections or some dirt getting into the eye. It could also be what we call a pterygium, like a growth on the eye called a pterygium or pingueculum. These are growths that occur when your eye has interacted with the environment, the dust, smoke, lots of sunlight, windy conditions. So sometimes you see some whitish thing getting towards the black. Yeah, so that could be one. I don't know which one it is. So you could either have an infection or it could be prolonged exposure to some of these factors that I've mentioned. Yes, and to get some relief, sometimes wearing certified sunglasses in the sun or sunglasses will help prevent the exposure or reduce the exposure. And then I would ask that you go to see your optometrist, the nearest optometrist, and then let them treat.
Okay. So her question drew my attention to the residue we find on our eyes when we wake up.
Okay.
How different is that from what you just described?
It's the same infection thing I'm talking about.
So how come when we sleep, we wake up, there's this dried up material on our...
Okay.
But nothing has gone on throughout the night or something?
Well, actually, a lot goes on in the night.
Well,
when we sleep, that's the body's time to repair, to heal, to do many other things. So during the day, you are up and down. I mean, your eye goes through a lot. And if your hands are not clean because you've touched this or that, and then you rub your eyes, some dirt can get into the eye, germs get into the eye. Okay. So now when you sleep, your eye has to fight these germs. And these are these are dead cells, bacteria and others that, come up. If the infection load is very high, you would have it all around, especially for children. Yes. And then they are unable to easily open their eyes.
Isn't that the Apollo one?
No, Apollo is a little different.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Apollo has redness, pain, sensitivity to light.
And swelling.
Yeah.
I remember. So Apollo is conjunctivitis, right?
Yes, it is a kind of conjunctivitis.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There are many different kinds.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about those things another day. So can you tell us any recent advancements in your field? Okay, so we have another caller before I ask this question. So, hello, good morning. You're welcome to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, good morning, my dear. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm fine. I'm Victor. I'm calling from West.
Okay, your question, please.
Yeah, my question is that I asked the doctor a question, but I do not get a clear answer.
Okay.
My eyes, yes, water coming from my eyes.
Okay.
Sometimes when I laugh, too much water come out. Sometimes my eyes just bringing water coming out from it. I don't know what is the problem for that.
Okay.
Okay. So sometimes when he laughs, there's water coming out. Let's do just a little. Do you know that there are some very little holes at the corner of your eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, you've done quite some reading.
We've been doing makeup, so we see.
Yes. So now these holes, their function is to drain the tears that come in your eye.
And that's where the tears. Yeah, that's why the tears drop. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes
so
sense.
if those holes, we call them the punctae. If they become blocked or there's an infection around there, then the water doesn't have anywhere to go. It will easily go the other way. So that's one issue. if you are laughing, can sometimes also bring limbic response. I mean, emotional response, and emotional responses can sometimes trigger more tearing naturally. So if you are, you can laugh till you are crying, and that's normal, usually normal. But if it's more than expected, you should get to an optometrist. Let them have an assessment of his eye. But in the meantime, you can just try massaging the eyes, the corners of the eye like that, and let's see how that goes.
Okay, we have another caller on the line. Won't go hospital. Go to the hospital. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Thank you. Good morning to you and Doc.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are enjoying the program. And I have one question for Doctor.
Okay.
I usually get eye itching often. Okay. It goes and it comes, especially when I wake up early in the morning. So when I have the itchy eyes, unless I wash my face with water before it comes down.
Okay.
And sometimes when I watch my phone, I normally see it becomes blurred to me. Okay. So I want to know what is the cause of that. Okay. And is there any medication for that? Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
So a myriad of things will cause itching. Lots of times we think that some things are just straightforward. We talked about allergies that can cause itching. Sometimes something as simple as dryness of the eye. The eye is not supposed to be very dry. It's always wet. That's why we keep blinking to wet it each time.
Yeah.
Sometimes the dryness of the eye can even cause this sort of itching. So if in rare cases, there are some people that when they sleep, their eyes are not totally closed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, so incomplete lid closure, that can actually also cause a dryness. So by the time you wake up, your eyes are irritated. They may be a little itchy. Sometimes, maybe even the beddings, you may be reacting to certain things around. For such people, they will have to change their sheets quite regularly. Okay. Yes, far regularly than other people.
Okay. So with the dry eye thing, I think sometimes early in the morning when you're commuting to work and you are sitting by the window, the wind blowing on your eye causes it to feel, I don't know, ticklish in a way, and then it starts to tear up.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes, that's a good observation. So if the wind is blowing on your eye, it's causing your eye to dry up. Okay. So as your brain notices or your eye notices that it's getting dry, it will start to produce more tears to compensate for the loss. Okay. So that's why we advise that, especially if you are somebody who rides, make sure you have your protective helmet with a visor or some protective glass or goggles or something if you're in such an environment.
So one more question on the dry eyes.
Yeah.
I think I watched these medical shows, and then in surgery, they put some sort of ointment on the patient's eye. I think the surgery was going to last a really long time. Is that something that maybe people who have noticed they sleep without completely shutting their eye should also start, employing?
First of all, you need to assess what.
So I'll come back to that question. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good morning. My name is Frederick. I'm calling from Ablekuma.
Okay, your question, please.
My question to Doctor is, he was saying that there are some holes at the edges of our eye. My question is, sometimes when I wake up in the morning, one of my eyes, especially the left one, will be swelling. I'll be feeling some itches there, and that eye will be red and swelling. I don't know. It will take about maybe 2 or 3 days before it comes back to normal. I don't know what is happening. I've been to a hospital before to check my eye. They told me there's nothing wrong with me, but I usually get this feeling sometimes within the week or maybe twice in a month. It happens like that.
Okay, well, since he's been to the hospital and it still happens. From the way he's narrating the issue, it seems as though there's something that triggers the eye. Maybe something that he's allergic to, something that irritates his eye when he sleeps. I'll urge that. He changes his beddings a lot. Let's see how it works out for him. Because if they have checked and there's nothing wrong with the eye, usually by the time you went to the hospital, perhaps at that time the issue was way resolved, so they didn't see any process going on. If it happens again, just go immediately so that they see what is happening. But then it looks like it's a transient thing and not something that is too serious. But yes, an inflammatory, there's something that is causing his eye to react like that.
So back to my question, I was asking that,
yes.
Some of the medical shows, they put some sort of ointment on the patient's eye before or during surgery, especially when the surgery is going to take a while. Is that something you would recommend for people who sleep without closing their lids fully?
So like I was saying, we have to find out, why are you having complete lid closure first? If it is there, 1, and then 2, why you are having it and the extent of dryness that it causes. Yes, that's a good thing to do. Those are usually gels.
Okay.
Lubricant gels. That
please,
will help.
Because they said lubricant gel, I beg, nobody should go and take KY gel.
No, here we are talking eye. Please, nothing should go to your eye that your doctor has not asked you to. Yeah, that escalated quickly. So, yes, we prescribe drops, eye drops, and then we have gels for that. So normally for such people, to prevent them from waking up with irritated eyes, red eyes, we give them gel for use in the night time. So before they sleep, they apply it.
So is it a natural thing that certain people sleep without closing their eyes fully?
When you say natural,
as in like a normal phenomenon.
There is usually a cause to everything. I mean, that has to do with the muscles of the eye. Sometimes there are some people who, I mean, they've never had a lid closure and then all of a sudden it's okay. So there could be a trigger, a reason behind it.
So we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello, my name is Gloria. I'm calling from Apai.
Okay, your question, please.
Please, my niece since at first has been having discharge.
Could you speak up a little, please?
Yes, I said my niece since at birth has been having discharges on both eyes.
Okay.
We've been to about 3 hospitals. They have been giving us same drugs anywhere we visit, and there's no changes. I don't know if doctors could help us.
Is it, sorry to interrupt, is it for you or is a child you are talking about?
It's a baby. The baby is currently 5 months. Since at birth, they are discharged.
Okay. So, a baby having discharge and then they give them same medication, come back, it comes again, it means that whatever is causing the discharge is just around.
Okay.
Watch your environment. Babies easily get their hands dirty and then they easily rub their eyes. This is a very common thing I hear with babies. So sometimes even their toys, the toys they play with, their siblings, watch their environment. Just intentionally do hand wash for the baby or just wash their face for no reason. Just do that often. You are reinfecting the child's eyes. That's just the basic thing. It's bacteria getting into the child's eyes.
Yeah. So we have questions here. So this one says, Doc, please briefly comment on the lifestyle activities adversely affecting our eyes today. You might just save an eye this morning. Okay. So first of all, let me use the most prevalent ones. Like I was talking about the myopia pandemic. So I advise that, especially for children, let us get more sunlight. Let us have more, engage in more outdoor activities. Nowadays, a child, just give them a tablet. As soon as a child cries, we give him a phone or a tablet. Left to me, even before the age of 2, do not let them touch a phone or tablet at all. It will not kill them. There are children who are in the villages who become computer programmers later in future. Yeah. They would still learn. Monitor the use of the digital screens. By 6 years, I almost said 6 o'clock. By 6 years, I think that
we should not be letting them have more than 2 hours
Okay,
of screen
of
use.
screen
Maybe in the weekend, monitor it.
So, all right, thank you. We have another caller on the line. Viewers, after this, go to the hospital. Yes. Hello, you're welcome to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, my name is Freeman from Tamale.
Your question, please.
Yeah, it's a I have a...
Could you speak up a little, please?
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Yeah, I'm saying that, yeah, my name is Freeman from Tamale.
Okay.
Yeah, my sister eyes always will complain that it looks like the pepper enter the eye. And we see that the tears will be coming out. So I want to know what is causing that.
Okay, so I don't know if it was for him or it was for someone.
His sister.
His sister. She complains. I think maybe
like
then
yes,
maybe like their eyes are burning sensation. Burning sensation occurs a lot, of course, if there's an irritant like some pepper, of course.
Yeah.
But then it can occur in dry eye situations.
Okay.
So she may need some drops to help soothing the dry eyes. Again, let her see an optometrist.
Okay.
He's calling from Tamale.
Yeah, Tamale.
Oh, there are clinics around. Yes.
Okay. So this one says, my name is George from KOKO. I have been experiencing occasional tremors around my eyes for some years now. Please, what should I do? Please visit the hospital.
Okay, so occasional tremors. I believe he's talking about shaky eyelids. Pardon me. Shaky eyelids. Shaky eyelids will usually occur if you are overstressing. So, George, right, from KOKO, if you are overworking, looking for too much money, slow down. Slow down. Yeah, dakakra, like sleep a bit.
Yes.
Eat well. If you are also on certain medications once in a while, that can occur. And if you like taking fizzy drinks, carbonated drinks, some people are addicted to drink like Coke, or you take coffee a lot, it can also cause that. So these are some.
So that's like
causes.
a reaction to the caffeine?
Yes.
Okay. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good morning, please. My name is George Stevens, and I'm calling from Tema.
We thought it was in KOKO. Okay, your question, please.
Yeah, my question here is a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine. She always have this yellowish eyelid, that whitish part. Her own is very yellow.
Okay.
So I don't know. I wanted to know what causes it and what could prevent it from going, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, George, assuming that we both got the color right, yellow and not brown, if it's yellowish, the eyes look quite jaundiced. Your friend may need a general, even a general check, a general medical checkup. Let him go to the hospital and have the eyes checked. If he wants to go to the optometrist, he can go to the optometrist for the first view, and then from there he may be referred, or if it's not what I'm thinking, the optometrist will handle it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So we have another question. It says, what are some foods that will help in our sight? Maybe fruits or vegetables?
Very good question. Very, very good question. So when it comes to foods, as I was studying, I noticed, in school, I noticed that most foods that will help us, like in balanced diet, they're good for the eye.
Okay.
But then I'd like to emphasize on green leafy vegetables, dark green leafy vegetables, ayoyo, kontomire, the north also swaka, the bitter leaf. All those are very, very good.
Okay.
Greens are good. They contain some levels of lutein, zeaxanthin. And then the orange-like foods, like the potatoes.
Okay.
Very good. Fruits are very good for the eye, containing vitamins and antioxidants. Very good, excellent for the eye. Red oil. All these that I'm saying, please, I'm not begging you. I'm not saying go and pack it and eat. Just make sure that you eat enough consistently.
Yeah.
Carrots are very good for the eye.
Okay.
And let me just give a top up. No, Gary doesn't cause eye problems.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So this other question here says, Doctor, please, does the weakening of the eye muscle have any relation with glaucoma?
No. So when we are explaining glaucoma, we, especially in chi, it becomes a bit difficult. So sometimes confusion will set in. For example, some will say that, glaucoma is a disease of the optic nerve. So we can say that so muscle, nerve, we don't really have very good ways to differentiate in the local languages. So sometimes you think that it's not that. The muscle weakening is one, and optic nerve damage is another. Yes.
Okay. So there's optic nerve damage, and then there's muscle weakening.
Yes.
Nerves and muscles are two different things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the show, please visit your nearest eye care center, or we will give you docs, facility to also visit. Maybe we'll give you discounts. Mention my name. So we have another caller on the line. Good morning. You're welcome to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good morning. I'm Joyce Wing calling from Amasa Mine.
Okay.
Dr. Derry is my brother.
All right.
Oh. Yes.
Okay, your
I'm
question,
calling to congratulate you.
Oh, okay.
God bless you. You've done great because I've seen the award you've taken. Oh, I just want the whole media to know how great you are and the good work you are doing. God bless you and keep it up. And there is one thing that people don't know about you, that you are the best organist I've seen so far. You are a great organist. People don't know. So today I've let them know that you are the best and a great organist.
Thank you.
Congrats. We are waiting for more awards for you.
Thank you very much, Joycelyn. I'm very grateful. Thank you. I'll come and look for you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Right.
So we have another question from Mr. Robert Ayiku from Sunyane. He's asking, what are the benefits or risks of contact lenses?
Oh, okay. Contact lenses are a great alternative to glasses, okay? So contact lenses, for those who don't know what contact lenses are, these are glasses I wear, I can see. But what if my job is such that wearing this will hinder me? Or I want an alternative. Ladies want their faces to show, their makeup. They want us to see everything. So there are these tiny lenses that you put on the eyeball that we call contact lens. So it comes in contact with the eye.
Okay.
Contact lenses are generally good. They are fine. Just that they require extra care with the eye so that you don't get infections on your eye. And sometimes certain environments will not be ideal for contact lens wear, but they are great alternatives to vision. Okay. Sometimes contact lenses even give better vision compared to eyeglasses. Okay. So your optometrist will advise you better.
Can you wear contact lenses to sleep?
There are some that you can wear to sleep, and there are others that you can't. So your optometrist will guide you to know which contact lens will be best for you.
Okay. So now back to this angle of conversation. The time is almost up, but we will. Hey, another question. So what are the types of eye infections? This is from Nathan Minta.
Wow, that's a very big, a very huge and broad question. You can, broadly speaking, you can have the bacterial infection, viral infection, protozoan infection. There are so many kinds of infections that you can have. You even have ones that will come from somewhere, secondary, and then it affects the eye. I mean, it will be very difficult to exhaust that if you pardon me. So, yes.
I think for this conversation, there will definitely have to be a part 2 because there's so much to touch on. I don't even, right now that the time is up, I think if you can just briefly give us, let's say, the future, looking forward into the future, what are the expectations for eye care in Ghana? Okay, so
while I'm going on, I want to say a big word of, should I say, congratulations to all members of the Ghana Optometrists Association and everybody in the eye care field, optometrists, ophthalmologists, ophthalmic nurses, opticians. We are really doing a very great job. Now, I want to also particularly highlight the Ghana Optometrists Association's efforts in improving eye care. You see, right now, when you are trying to renew your license, you don't go to the DVLA anymore. There are accredited facilities around that you can just go to, do your eye check for the DVLA, just walk in, you do it, and then you have, I think, up to 3 months valid results that you can take to the DVLA later. And that's a very, very huge step. People do not understand. The reason is this. This time, you're being taken care of by an eye professional. So there are certain things that you may not have noticed, but the eye professional will notice in the screening. He may tell you are fit to drive, but please come back and let me check this. And that will really prevent a very big problem from occurring later in future. There are several other things that we are doing. For example, artificial intelligence now. We have optometrists who are writing software code to help improve diagnostic abilities, help improve standard of care. We are trying to do several programs to reach to the rural people to get them affordable eye care. I don't want to mention individuals and all, but we are doing quite a good number of things. I'm very proud of where we've come. There's a lot to be done. I would urge the government as well to, consider posting optometrists. Also consider private and government, private, how do we call it? Partnerships, yes. Because we realize that the private are the major workforce in eye care delivery now. And if we partner with the government, we can get to certain places that are difficult. Government cannot do everything. Private cannot do everything.
Okay.
Yes.
So even as you've given us, the way forward, I would like to take your closing remarks, maybe some admonitions to our viewers. They should go to the hospital.
Yes, your eyes do not have spare parts, so you really, really want to check your eye. Most eye procedures for checking, most of them are painless. So you just go, we'll do the check for you. If you want more education, I realize a lot of people want more education. I do several certain short videos, educational videos on social media. You can follow. On Facebook, my name is Augustine Derry. Derry is 1 R, D-E-R-Y. On Instagram, it is August Derry, the month August and D-R-Y together. Instagram and TikTok. So you can just follow me there, and then you'll see several videos that would give you some education on several topics. If you have an optometrist around you, hold him dear. Hold him very dear, because your eyes
will be holding you dear.
Yes. So you're talking, for those in Accra, there are several clinics around. There are several who may even want to get in touch with me. Maybe if you get on social media, you're not able to get to. I work at the Third Eye Care and Vision Center. So, yeah.
So, because, someone wants your number, but find him on his socials, Augustine Derry or August Derry on TikTok and Instagram, right?
TikTok, Instagram, yes. Yeah. August Derry. And then Facebook, Augustine Derry. Yeah.
Facebook is Augustine Derry. So we have questions, but I think when we reschedule, then we will take them. But someone is also asking what precautions, should be taken to maintain good eye health while using screens.
Eat well, exercise well.
Yeah. And then is prolonged exposure to the sun's UV rays also harmful to the eyes?
It could be harmful.
Okay. Then someone's also asking how long they can use an eyedropper bottle. When you open it, usually between 21 to 30 days, you should have been done with it, or else you throw it away. Okay. The mothers that keep the boxes to buy later for their children, don't do that. You harm your child. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to ask about chloramphenicol, but another day. Okay. So this brings us to the end of the KOKO Digest Morning Show. I'm sure we had a whole lot of questions we wanted to ask. So we will definitely have him back very, very soon. Because I even like the fact that you mentioned the DVLA thing. Because last week we spoke about road safety. Yes. So the eye thing, yes. So I'm sure maybe during this month we will have you back to give this conversation some continuity. Okay. Thank you so much, the technical team. Thank you, our cherished viewers. Thank you, the whole of Clogsag, security, our drivers, our big men. Thank you so much for supporting us. A big thank you to our sponsors and our management, everybody that joined hands to make this show a success. We are most grateful. And as you go through your day, remember to go to the hospital if you have any issues with your eyes. Don't forget to also spread positivity as you go through your day, and have an amazing week ahead.
Clog TV. Beyond the policy.